We are learning some collage techniques by using some paper, some pattern colored paper, scissors, and a glue stick. You also will probably need a pencil. So I'm going to start with my paper here, and I'm going to draw some shapes on them for the shapes of my trees. Some of my trees can be organic shapes, which means they're kind of, they're not any shape that I really know. I know that's kind of hard to see. Let me do this with a marker so you can see it better. But organic shapes means it doesn't really look like a shape that has a name. It's kind of wobbly, wiggly type shape, okay? I could also I've got my organic shape here. I could also do some different shapes. So maybe a triangle. And on these pattern papers, if it's kind of hard to see your shape, you could actually flip it over and draw on the back. So I've got a triangle and like an oval shape there. So then I'm going to cut out my pictures, cut out my shapes. So cutting is one way that you can do this. If you don't care about what your shapes look like, if you want them to look a little bit more jagged on the edges, you could actually tear. So if I wanted a triangle shape, I could tear that triangle out. So you can rip your paper. You don't always have to use scissors. So I'm going to rip my triangle off. Kind of see that there. Still got the triangle shape, and you can kind of tear it more off or less off if you want. So there's one shape. Then my last one here. And I'm gonna cut quickly so that you guys will have more time, but know that I'd like for you to slow down and be careful when you are cutting, okay? But I'm going quick so that you'll have time. Now, you can cut way more shapes than this, but this is what I'm going to start with. And one thing I want us to do, and so remember I am showing you guys trees. So these are kind of like the shape of the tops of the trees. And I'm going to always start with the tree that I want to be in the background, okay? So I'm going to use just a little bit of glue. We don't want to get the whole glue stick out of there and mess up our glue. So just a little. And then, of course, put that down. Then I'm going to glue one on top of that one. So I'm going to overlap it. And so this one looks like it's a little bit farther away. It looks like it is in the background because it's behind the one that I'm going to glue on top of it. Okay? So let me cut this out. Put that there. And you can fill your whole paper with these different trees. I'm just doing 3 right now, again, so you guys will have time. And then this is the one that I ripped. And that one's kind of got its ripped edges there. So after you get your shapes down, you can take a Sharpie or any marker or whatever you want to use, really, to do the details. So I'm going to draw the inside of my tree like the picture that we looked at. So I'm going to draw lines coming down the middle of the trees for the tree trunks. Then I can draw limbs. So whenever I draw tree limbs, I actually do like the letter Y, and that is an easy way to do some limbs for your trees. You could even have smaller limbs coming off of that. So I can draw a couple of Ys there. So there's one tree. Maybe with this tree, I actually add like little details on my limbs, like little dots. Yeah, they could be acorns. It could be details, any kind of details on your tree. So you can decide how you want to draw your trees. On this one, maybe I'll just draw some wavy lines. But these will make such cool little pictures once you fill your paper up with some of these tree shapes, okay? So I'm going to stop the video right there, and then we're going to talk about how to get out supplies.